You guys, what's up? It's Dan. So, I've had some inspiration from the fearless Joe Rogan. He started an MMA podcast because he knows about it probably more than anyone. You know, he's a very intellectual individual. I listen to a lot of his podcasts and I've gathered some things to add to my arsenal, I guess you could say. But I love talking about MMA. I competed in it. I love it. I love talking about it. I have an ongoing text with a couple of my friends. We talk about everything that's coming up. We talk about anything we want from the past. We talk about current news. It's great. I love it. There's everything that I love about it. What I wanted to try is starting this side podcast. I don't even know what it's going to be called yet. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. Am I going to have certain guests? Am I going to get my friends' insight on it? Am I going to talk to pro fighters, my friends through friends of friends? You know, I've thought about a lot of things, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter. Here I am. Here we go. So like I said, love talking about MMA. It's deep into my heart. I love the aspect of the competition about it. I love when people have a different perspective on it, like when they say, I know UFC. It's like, kind of makes me cringe. It also just makes me laugh sometimes. But it's okay. Not everyone is, as knowledgeable. I guess some people just don't know as much. But that's like saying if you were playing basketball, you're not going to say, I play NBA. NBA is an organization. So is the UFC. It just makes me cringe sometimes, but it's okay. It's whatever. Maybe that person or whoever will listen to this. Maybe not, but whatever. So I wanted to do this podcast because I love talking about MMA. Maybe I can bring some light. Maybe 5 people will listen to it, but it's okay. The other part of the podcast, The Weekly Hangover, so far has 2,560 listens, plays, downloads. It's pretty exciting for me, so I guess you could say it's going well. I'd like to see it keep growing. I'm not going to stop and admit defeat because I don't think I've been defeated. It's been a good start. I've had 9 episodes so far and 2,560 plays, downloads. Average 200 and something per episode average, which is okay. I think it's a good start. I've had a couple of friends. I've been to different places talking about it with, friends. I think it's going good so far. So I want to give a quick shout out to Virginia, North Carolina, Illinois, Mississippi, Missouri, Florida, Georgia, New Jersey, Indiana, Washington, New York, Texas, Nevada, Massachusetts, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Tennessee, Oklahoma, France, the UK, and Canada. All people that have listened to the podcast. Shout out to y'all. Say what's up. Man, that's awesome. I think it's been a wild ride. I currently love it. Now I'm trying to talk about MMA occasionally. For example, the fights that are coming up on December 2nd are UFC 218. Love it. There's 4 main fights that I am so pumped about. I've talked to a couple of my friends, Corey and Kendall, about it. Talked to my buddy Billy about it a little bit. What's up, Billy? We've talked about what's going to be. It's going to be great. Jose Aldo, Max Holloway, number 2. First off, Jose Aldo. Incredible fighter. I think he's the greatest 145-pounder of all time. Or he was the greatest of all time. He got taken out by Conor McGregor. Not dissing on Conor McGregor because I think he's an incredible individual, but doesn't defend anything. That's my take on him. So this is the second time. The first time, I would say Jose Aldo was giving him a beating. He got tired. He got taken out. It happens. It happens to everyone. You can't... I think it was Frank Mir that said on one of the Ultimate Fighters to one of his guys that he was coaching, he was saying, if you haven't been knocked out or you haven't been taken out or you haven't taken a good beating, then you haven't fought anybody. Everybody loses. It's a part of the game. It's the hurt business, But I'm excited for that fight. It's going to be great. Max Holloway is an incredible fighter. He's got a freaking good attitude. He's a hard-nosed animal. He does not say die. Love watching him fight. The fight right before that, I'm really excited for. Alistair Overeem, Francis Ngannou. Love Alistair Overeem's kickboxing. He's incredible. His combinations, his the way he talks, and oh my gosh, just love him. Francis Ngannou, I would say he's up and comer. I've seen him fight a couple of times on TV. Incredible fighter. Love watching a fight. I'd say I'm a bigger fan of Overeem, and I think that he has the advantage. I would say that he would be favored to win, but hey, anyone can get taken out. It happens. So right before that, Henry Cejudo and Sergio Pettis. Henry Cejudo is not my favorite fighter. Incredible wrestler. He was an Olympian, very good wrestler. He's fought some top level guys like Wilson Hayes and Demetrius Johnson. Won against Wilson Hayes and lost against Demetrius Johnson because Demetrius Johnson is the greatest of all time. But he's fighting Sergio Pettis, younger brother of Anthony Pettis. It's going to be a good fight. I'm pumped for it. I am pumped for it. Think it'll be good. I think if Sergio Pettis wins, I think that'll be a step in his career. I think that because I think he's 25, if I'm not mistaken. He's a really, really good fighter. He has Taekwondo in his blood. His brother's been fighting for years. Why not follow in his brother's footsteps? Why not take his own new path? I think he's a great fighter. We'll see. It's going to be sweet this coming Saturday, December 2nd. So right before that, we have, let's see, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje. If you don't know who Justin Gaethje is, go look him up. He was a World Series of Fighting lightweight champion. He got brought over to the UFC, highly, highly touted prospect. He got over to the UFC and fought on, I believe, the Ultimate Fighter finale. He fought Michael Johnson. Back and forth slugfight. It was just back and forth. It was incredible. Both guys almost got taken out. Both guys almost got knocked out. Jabs, hooks, haymakers, anything you want. It was great. Loved watching it fight. He took out Michael Johnson, and he's a hard-nosed killer. He works hard. He's got a good attitude. He knows he's either going to get knocked out or he's going to knock out the other guy. The guy's always going to swing for the fences. And some people could say it's kind of reckless, or it could be reckless. Don't care. He's an animal. He's everything you could possibly want in a fighter. Everything. Think about it. He's got a good attitude. Loves to fight. He wants to fight. He'll swing for the fences. Doesn't want a decision. Everything that you could possibly want. He's a fighter. He's fighting a legend in his own right. He's fighting Eddie Alvarez, the Underground King. Came over from Bellator. He is a diehard. The man never quits. He's got knocked out by Conor McGregor, unfortunately. Conor became the 155-pound champ from Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez was the champ. He got it from Rafael dos Anjos when he took out Rafael dos Anjos. So it's like, it's going to be a great fight. I imagine that they're both going to be standing right in front of each other and slugging it out. I'm very excited for that. You could have that as a headliner by himself, Eddie Alvarez and Justin Gaethje. I'm telling you, if you don't know who either of those guys are, just type in their name. Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje. Incredible fighters. They're going to be swinging. If you want to see an exciting fight, it very may well go just one round. It's very possible. I have no doubt in my mind that it could go that. I don't think it'll go 3 rounds. I really don't. It's not a headline fight, so it's not going to be 5 rounds. It'll be 3 5-minute rounds. What's crazy about Justin Gaethje is he's 18-0. He's undefeated. The man has not lost yet. He's an incredible fighter so far. He's young and he's new into the UFC. They're throwing him right to the freaking lines. First, Michael Johnson. Now, Eddie Alvarez. It's going to be tough. We'll see. That's coming up for this weekend. It's going to be sweet. If you don't watch it, if you're not going to watch it, watch the replay. Watch the highlights. Check him out. You'll probably see him Sunday morning or even Saturday night. Go ahead and check him out. In some news that I've seen, Chuck Liddell said he wants to return. My thoughts on that, it's tough because if anyone that's a diehard or anyone that knows anything about MMA, Chuck Liddell used to be the face of MMA. He used to just knock everyone out, and he was a champ. He fell off. He was getting knocked out. He was getting beat. You're watching like greatness just lose and lose, kind of like Fedor. We'll get into that shortly. Why would he want to come back? It doesn't make sense to me. It's like he's done everything. He's fulfilled everything that you could possibly think of. He's made money. But again, hey, that may be the reason why he's coming back. Maybe he has that itch again. He's like, man, I just kind of need just one more fight. And then maybe he'll retire for good. But I would say he should stay retired. Whatever, Anything else in news? Yeah. This isn't UFC, but this is Bellator. There is a Grand Prix tournament, which I'm so excited for. There's 8 fighters. It's going to be great. So the fighters that are, let me name them off for you. We have Chael Sonnen versus Quentin Rampage Jackson. That'll be the first fight. That'll be on January 20th. I believe it's in California somewhere. And then we have Matt Mitrione versus Roy Big Country Nelson. I'm going to get through all of it, and then I'll give you my picks. And then I'll give you my couple of my friends' picks. After that, in April, Fedor Emelianenko, he's the great white rhino. If you don't know who Fedor is, he's the greatest fighter of all time. He's fighting now way past his prime. He recently got knocked out by Matt Mitrione. The crazy thing about that is Matt Mitrione got knocked out too, but he got up a little faster and then finished it. It happened, whatever. But let me get back to that. So those 3 matchups, and then Ryan Bader versus King Mo Lawal. First, what's crazy about, I'll just dive right into it. What's crazy about it is there's some people in this that are not even heavyweights. This is a heavyweight tournament. Half of them aren't even heavyweights. Fedor, true heavyweight. Matt Mitrione, true heavyweight. Big Country, true heavyweight with his big old stomach. Bader, King Mo, not heavyweights. They're light heavyweights. Ryan Bader is the champion for light heavyweight. He's not the heavyweight champion. And then Chael Sonnen, not a heavyweight. He probably walks around at like 220 tops, and he's fighting Quentin Rampage Jackson. See, I've heard rumors that Rampage walks around, or he has walked around at like 250. I don't know how true that is, but he's not that big of a guy. He's just a killer, All these guys are. But the first fight, my picks are as follows. Chael Sonnen, I think he's going to win by decision. I think it's going to be a very boring fight. But I forgot who said it, that it doesn't matter how you win, it's about advancing since it's a tournament. So, Chael Sonnen. And then my next pick, this is going to be a tough one because Matt Mitrione is fighting Big Country, and they fought before. Big Country won. But Matt Mitrione, maybe he's coming into his own. He's a monster. Big Country, a monster. They're both animals. And they're matched up in the first round. That's a freaking title fight by itself. It's going to be incredible. Fedor and Mir. I'm actually going to go out and see this fight in Chicago with my buddy Billy. It's going to be so fun. We're talking about me flying out to Chicago from Richmond, Virginia, and he's going to pick me up. We're going to go watch the fights, and then we're going to go back to Wisconsin for the weekend. It's going to be great. Sounds like fun. That is happening in April. So that's I didn't even say my pick. I want Fedor to win. I think Mir's going to win. But my official pick, Fedor. Saying it. Calling it right now. And then Ryan Bader versus King Mo. I'm picking Bader via boring decision. That's my pick. So I've asked some of my diehard MMA friends. They're my normal friends, but we always talk about MMA. My buddy Billy, he's given me his picks. He also wrote me 3 pages, which I printed out. What's up, Billy? He's given me 3 pages of printouts. He said he couldn't sleep the other night and asked him to give me his picks. So I agree with some of his. His pick is Chael versus unanimous decision. I agree with you, Billy. Frank Mir submission. It's not unheard of. It's a very possible outcome. It could happen. And then he said Mitrione, which will probably happen. And then he said Ryan Bader versus unanimous decision. So I was also reading what he was saying, that Billy was saying, is this isn't the first time this tournament has came up. Scott Coker, the president of Bellator, he used to be another president for another organization called Strikeforce. And there's a big tournament. I don't know, I have a lot of mixed feelings on a tournament over a whole year because a lot of things can happen. People can get hurt, but also if it's a tournament like within a couple months, whatever, people are going to get hurt. It's the hurt business, whatever. So I was reading through Billy's thoughts, what he wrote down, and he's saying he has no desire to see Fedor fight ever again. He's got nothing to prove, and seeing him laid out on the canvas over and over again is just depressing. I'm with you, buddy. But he's the greatest of all time. He's like watching a unicorn. He's like watching an elf eat. It's incredible. I don't know if that's a good example, but he said Matt Mitrione and Roy Nelson has the potential to be the best fight of this tournament. I agree with you, man. I'm so excited for that fight. It's going to be dope. So that's Billy's picks. I also asked one of my really good friends, Corey Rich. He was also in the last episode. He just got married. He's the man. What's up, Corey? You all right? He was telling me his picks, and his picks are as follows. Chael, unanimous decision. Fedor, TKO. I'm pumped for that. Mitrione by TKO. I think it's going to be a KO by him or Roy. Either way, I don't care who wins. Someone's getting knocked out. And then he said King Mo by unanimous decision. I don't really care about King Mo. He's not exciting to me. I'm just not a big fan. But I can't argue with the man. Those are his picks. Whatever. He said something very interesting. He said Mir is a slow starter. Very true. And I think Fedor can land that shot before Mir finds his stride. Very possible. It just depends on what Mir shows up. Mir has been through the ring. He's a fighter that is going to keep on coming. His game, I would say, I think it keeps elevating. That's just my own opinion. But he's fighting the greatest of all time. They actually wanted to fight a long time ago. He said, I want to see how hard Fedor can hit. If you're not a fan of Fedor, you're not a fan of MMA. He's my favorite. He's the White Rhino. He's the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. He was the GOAT. That GOAT passed away. And he's still fighting though. He said it's don't blink. It's going to be interesting. All right. Last but not least, Kendall just sent me his picks. He says Mir over Fedor, even though Mir has been suspended for like 2 years, which is true. He's been suspended. And then he asked for his release from the UFC. Now he's fighting Bellator. I think it's smart as him. He said, I think Fedor is just so old he can't handle him. He said Fedor is just too old and he won't be able to handle him. So he is going for Mir over Fedor. He said Chael over Rampage, which I 100% agree with because I think Chael will just get it to the ground like we've talked about. He also said Mitrione by KO or TKO over Big Country, which is completely, like we said, it'll happen one way or the other. It's going to happen. And he said Bader over King Mo because I just don't think King Mo has any business in this. LOL. And then he said for the second round, which is very interesting. We'll talk about this later, Kendall. But he says he has Chael over Mir. Mir's absence will be fine to get through Fedor, but not enough for Chael. We'll talk about that tomorrow, Kendall. Interesting on that. Then he has Mitrione over Bader, of course, the size. Then Mitrione and Chael for the belt, for the heavyweight. It's interesting, but it's his perspective. That's his picks. I can't argue his picks. Actually, I can argue the mess out of his picks. We'll talk about it. So that's it. Those are the picks. That's what's coming up. First, like we said, first fight. Like we said, first fight, January 20th, Chael and Rampage. Mitrione and Nelson, February 16th. Fedor and Mir, April 20th. Bader and King Mo is in May. They don't have the exact date yet, but I am excited for it. Another bit of MMA news. Holly Holm and Cyborg Santos. If you don't know, Holly Holm was the one that took out Ronda Rousey. Oh, it was great. Cyborg is a killer. She is a different breed of human. Her and Holly Holm are going to get down. They're going to throw down. It's going to be exciting. I don't know what the outcome is. I would say Cyborg by decapitation. I don't know. It's just my pick. Whatever. Also, another bit of MMA news. I saw that Conor McGregor punched someone that was kind of important. And now some mob boss, someone in Ireland, out for him. Don't know. Sounds crazy though. All right, let's see. How do I want to end this? If you want to jump on this, if you want to talk about this, throw me your insight. Shoot me a message. thewhangover@gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook. Doesn't matter. I just like talking about MMA. If you think I suck at my picks, go ahead and tell me that. It's not going to hurt me. Whatever. If you want to get on it, go ahead and hit me up. You want to talk about it? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Y'all are great. Talk to you soon. Appreciate you. Bye.